This is something that most people will experience in their lives. On a certain day when they're very happy, 24 hours feels like 10 minutes. Another day when you're depressed, 10 minutes will feel like 24 hours. Time is a very relative experience. When you're so blissed out, what is 2 minutes, it's 8 hours, 10 hours, just gone like that. So in about 6 to 8 weeks, I came to some kind of stabilization within myself and started experimenting as to what is happening to me. Then I realized, if I keep a little distance from my physiological and psychological activity that's going on, if I just remove myself a little bit, then within a few seconds or within a couple of minutes, every cell in my body is bursting with ecstasy. Now, this is not just my experience. Today we have it measured out in Harvard Medical School, how there is endocannabinoids are bursting out in people simply because they do a simple practice. So I made a plan in 2.5 years' time, I will make the whole world blissed out. I knew the methodology. If you just keep a distance, it'll happen. 40 years now. Today, people are saying we are touching over 2 billion people. Last year, our video views have been 3.51 billion. So, people think that's great. But no, that is less than half the population as far as I'm concerned, because I started thinking I'll make the whole world blissed out. But people are committed to their miseries, either because of their beliefs or their ideologies or their compulsive behavior within themselves. So it needs to happen to the whole world. I don't see this as a mission, I just see this as an expression of my humanity. Suppose you hear a good joke, will you tell somebody who's dear to you, or will you cover yourself with a blanket and tell yourself?
Of course, I'd tell everybody.
Yeah.
Pretend it was mine.
That's all I'm trying to do, no mission.
When
My
you-
experience, I'm trying to just rub it off on people.
Some stats for you that support what you said earlier. Someone dies by suicide in the UK every 90 minutes. 76% of them are male. The single biggest cause of death for men under the age of 45 here in the UK is by suicide. You said you spent a lot of time around business people, and they appear to be the most unhappy and least blissful
No, I
people.
wouldn't say unhappy, stressed out.
Stressed out. What is it that we're doing to the… Because I see myself, I must be in that category to some regard, because I've focused most of my time on, building businesses and, I guess to some extent material things and success. So I must be part of that
That is
cohort.
a diversionary tactic, in the sense. So you can think that survival means 2 meals a day. Or you can think survival means Bentley. So it'll keep you busy a little longer. Still survival process. As long as the survival, there's an instinct of survival and there is a longing to expand within the human being. So, for most human beings, these two things are mixed up. It is their instinct of survival which is finding expression as their longing to expand. It doesn't matter who you are, where you are, anybody. You want to be something more. If that something more happens, you want to be something more. You can go on like this, how much more? Whatever you want, if I make it true for you right now, next moment you'll be thinking, what more? Suppose I make you the king of not England, the planet. Don't look at me hopefully, I will not commit such a blunder. Suppose we make you the king of this planet, will you be fulfilled? No, you will look at the moon, you look at other planets, you look at the other galaxies. If I give you one galaxy, you'll say, what about the other galaxy? Because there is something within a human being which wants to expand limitlessly.
Is that not a good thing? Is that not the reason why…
I didn't say it's not good. I'm just saying you have constipated that longing to expand. That's why you suffer. When I say constipated, right now you want to expand limitlessly. Can you expand this body limitlessly?
No.
Please don't. Don't try.
In the gym I've tried, but…
So physical expansion is a limited expansion and your longing is to expand limitlessly because there is something within you which doesn't like boundaries. The moment, see, if I imprison you in a 5x5 cubicle, you will feel terribly imprisoned. Then tomorrow I will announce your liberation and release you into 10x10 cubicle. You will feel wonderful for 2 days. Then you will feel horribly imprisoned. Then we will release you into a 100x100 cubicle. You will be fine for a week, after that you will feel miserable. Doesn't matter where I set the boundary. Once you feel the boundary, you want to break it. So there is something intrinsic within you which doesn't like boundaries. This is a consequence of the evolution that you've gone through. Once your cerebral cortex flowered, now you don't like boundaries. But you're trying to expand in an infinite way by counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can you ever count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and one day say infinity?
No.
You will only get into endless counting. That's all that's happening. That's why I said your longing to expand is a limitless process. But right now you're constipated. You're going one little step at a time. Constipation means just this, it happens little by little.
So is it a case of trying to find a balance between your ambition to expand and to grow and be successful
No.
and peace?
Why should you find balance? You must expand.
Okay, so that's what I'm doing.
Yes, no. What is the means to become a boundless expansion? If you look at that, then we say consciousness. This is what raising human consciousness means, because you realize physical expansion is not a realistic thing. We can make physical arrangements as we want, as we need for our convenience and comfort, but that is not the way to expand. Expansion needs to happen in a way that it's not physical in nature. Then you can also own the universe, I can also own the universe.
When I look at the way we're living our lives in the Western world, what you talked about the WHO, they describe stress as an epidemic sometimes, and they say it's a major contributor to the diseases that we're undergoing. I'm trying to figure out in my life where I'm going, if there's anywhere where I'm going wrong. Because I'm building these businesses and I'm, and I sometimes ask myself, to what end,
When you say, where am I going wrong? The wrong is this, the fundamental wrong is this. What is not you? If you think it's you, then you're trapped in that. If you think that I am this chair, because we sat on this chair for a period of time, if you think you're this chair, now this chair will go with you stuck to your backside wherever you go. That's a very ugly thing to do, isn't it? It's the same thing right now. Your thought, you think it's you. Your emotion, you think it's you. Your physiological stuff, you think it's you. It's pretty ugly. It's just because everybody's got this chair stuck to the backside, it looks like it's normal. After all, it's convenient. Wherever you go, you don't have to look for a chair, you got a chair fixed.
If I identify with all these things, if I identify with this chair, you're saying that becomes a way to…
That's all. The thing is, your identity, whatever you're identified with, that becomes a part of you.
And is that what's causing us a lot of our despair?
Yes. If you sit here just as life, what is your problem? As long as you're alive, everything is fine.
Yeah.
So the only problem is, you're identified with things that you're not. So the whole lot of confusion about everything. So if you're successful, you suffer, if you're failure, you suffer. If you're… See, look at the thing. Is there one thing that human beings are not suffering? Just tell me. Somebody is poor, they suffer their poverty. Somebody becomes rich, they suffer the taxes. No children, they suffer that. Give them children every day, pain, something or the other. So it looks like whole life is suffering. So somebody makes a philosophy, whole life is suffering, you must go to heaven. If you know that much, why are you not gone? You are not gone because you don't know a damn thing. Whether there is a place better than this somewhere or not, you don't know. You're just claiming these things to somehow fix your psychological sloshing that's happening inside. You're making up things to somehow believe something so that your psychology won't just splash all over the place and go crazy. You're trying to hold yourself in place, telling yourself fairy tales, all right? So, what I'm saying is, do you believe that if you want to navigate your life, through this time that we have in a sensible manner. The most important thing is to see life as is, as it is. If I don't see in this room things as they are, I will walk into this table, I will bump into somebody, I will do crazy things every day. If I see very clearly, navigating myself through all these cables and tripods is not a big problem. Hello? But if I don't see, if there's no clarity of vision, if I'm not seeing things as they are, then what a mess it is, every little thing, that's all the problem is. Not that what you're doing is wrong, the way you're seeing it is wrong.